Helen Hayden, who is a research fellow at the University of Queensland. And Helen is speaking to us today about one of the programs of work funded through the BRAINS program, the Caring for the Caregiver online intervention. So over to you, Helen.
All right. So yes, thank you very much, Harry. Hello, everyone. To start, I want to acknowledge the amazing team that I work with that are supporting in developing and evaluating the Caring for the Carer online intervention. So what today, in my quick 5 minutes, I will run through the timeline that's going to take us from why we would need a Caring for the Carer online intervention, but you've already heard a little bit about that from Jill and Diana. And through to how it's now part of the MRFF BRAINS program of work. And please note, though, that I do use the terms online intervention and website interchangeably, so as not confuse you, hopefully. So back to the beginning, the evidence, as we've heard, shows that carers of people diagnosed with a brain tumour were struggling to get adequate support, reliable information and knowledge. And often people then felt unprepared as they're thrown into this sort of new demanding situation. And there was evidence to suggest that people, that providing this reliable information can somewhat decrease the impacts of the psychological and physical impacts on carers. So to start to address these unmet needs, in Western Australia, Georgia Halkett and Anna Nowak developed Confidence to Care, and that was an in-person home-based education and support program in the Perth area. And that program was shown to be effective in increasing carer preparedness, but to increase the reach, they decided to transform that program from in-person to an online intervention. And this is when I came on board. And so in close consultation with 2 carer representatives, we translated and enhanced the information that was in the in-person content to make it more suitable for an online environment. And after months of work, our first iteration of the website was evaluated by a sample of carers from across Australia, albeit a small one, hence it being pilot. Now we're currently expecting an accepted manuscript after submitting minor revisions last month. But out of 15 carers who reviewed the website, we gathered complete data from 10 carers using multiple methods. So there was a pre and post implementation survey, as you can see those measures there, Google Analytics to look at where people were visiting, and interviews. So today, just quickly, briefly, to the survey results show that there were high levels of usability and a possible potential for reduced depression, and with all other differences pre and post being non-significant, but really remembering there were only 10 people, so we have to be very careful with any potential interpretation. But possibly then really of greater interest in the development of the current intervention are the interview results. And so the thematic analysis of the interviews showed that carers did find multiple benefits through the online intervention and provided examples of how it helped them and normalised their situation, gave them validation was one of the big things that came out of that in terms of their experiences and that they're doing all that they can. But it also provided an opportunity for excellent suggestions about how to enhance the website. And so with the success of MRFF BRAIN funding, we did address the feedback raised in the pilot, and the content, for example, is now organised in terms of a trajectory from diagnosis and through to if someone is needing palliation. And a generous donation from one of the carer advisors has allowed us to include more video content or more videos of carers' real life stories and how they are going with that. So the current project evaluation then is to determine the efficacy of the optimised Caring for the Carer website to increase preparedness to care for people with brain tumour, and secondarily to assess its impact in a range of other outcomes, as you can see here. So we've interviewed so far 15 clinicians who provided feedback on the website, and we adapted the website in terms of what their feedback was. And before we recruited carers, we've interviewed 12 carers so far this time. And this time we're conducting a waitlist controlled trial using similar pre and post surveys as we used in the pilot. But this time we're aiming for a sample size of 100 carers. But as you can see, recruitment has plateaued. And so we only have 27 of the 100 carers intended that we're hoping to complete the evaluation. So if you can help us to promote the project or to help in terms of recruitment, please don't hesitate to contact me, and we can work together to try and get those 100 carers on board. But thank you very much.